Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are putting aside the usual deep dives into history or tech.
Yeah, we're going somewhere else entirely.
We're immersing ourselves in a world of, well, extreme emotion, catastrophic secrets, and let's face it, psychological warfare.
Absolutely. We are diving deep into some seriously explosive soap opera spoilers that have just landed.
That's right. We've got a whole stack of analysis, and it's focusing really heavily on the immediate future for the Forresters, the Spencers, specifically looking at the end of 1 week and then that whole week of September 8th through the 12th.
And what's really striking here, what the analysts are pointing out, is that this isn't just, one single crisis brewing.
No.
No, we're talking multiple high-velocity emotional time bombs, and they're all counting down at the same time. It's kind of intense.
Okay, so multiple time bombs. We've got two massive parallel plots that we really need to unpack for you, the listener.
Right.
First, there's that eternal triangle, isn't there? The whole Ridge, Taylor, Brooke wedding mess.
Oh, yeah. Driven by secrets, promises, family interference. The usual, but maybe amplified.
And then second, there's this whole younger generation drama unfolding. An incredibly chaotic, potentially life-altering secret pregnancy plot involving Luna Nozawa and Will Spencer.
Now it sounds messy. Our mission today really is to cut through all that noise.
Okay.
We want to, identify the core conflicts, take a look at the intense pressure tactics these characters are using.
Because they are using them.
Oh, definitely. And ultimately, we want to provide some clarity on who might drop the first truth bomb.
Yeah.
And where all that collateral damage is going to land.
Let's dive right in then. Starting with that Forrester family pressure cooker. Because the sources, they throw us immediately into the return of a major player, Thomas Forrester.
Straight into the fire.
And he walks straight into, well, disaster.
Okay, so the scene that really kicks off this whole week of chaos. It happens Wednesday, September 3rd. Thomas gets back, and he finds Ridge and Brooke together. And the sources are really specific about this. They say they jump apart and look, quote, very guilty.
Oof. That one word, guilty, it just says everything, doesn't it?
It really does.
It tells Thomas instantly that whatever Ridge has been feeding him about, his future with Taylor, it's already compromised.
And Thomas doesn't hesitate. There's no pause, no reflection. He just launches right into this pretty aggressive confrontation with his dad.
It's immediate.
What's fascinating, too, is the demand. It's like an ultimatum right off the bat. He doesn't just ask Ridge, hey, how are things going?
No.
He demands to know, is the wedding to Taylor still on? Yes or no?
Wow.
And the deep dive material, it suggests Thomas basically believes Ridge is, and this is the phrase used, flat out lying to his face if he doesn't call off the engagement right then and there.
So this isn't just a son asking his father a question.
Not at all. This is Thomas, the self-appointed protector of the Taylor Forrester legacy, demanding accountability from the guy who constantly messes it up.
Yeah, you can feel that history. This reaction, it absolutely harks back to every single time Ridge has hurt Taylor before.
Exactly.
Thomas sees Ridge doing his usual waffling as this huge threat to his mom's happiness, and maybe even more, to the stability of the family unit he wants.
He recognizes that guilty look. He knows it.
It's the pre-betrayal look.
Precisely. And Thomas, knowing who the main obstacle usually is, pivots immediately.
Straight to Brooke.
Straight to Brooke. And he does it with Katie right there as a witness.
Yeah.
Which is, pretty strategic.
I love that move.
He warns Brooke, very pointedly, don't interfere with Ridge remarrying Taylor. And this is where we get that classic Brooke response.
Ah, the death glare. A soap opera staple.
You got it. But the sources also dig into what she might actually say. They predict she won't lie outright. She knows Thomas wouldn't buy it if she just denied everything.
Right, so what's the prediction?
Instead, she's expected to use this really carefully phrased, kind of benign deflection. Something along the lines of, it's not up to you who Ridge marries, Thomas. It's up to Ridge.
Oh, that's clever. Very clever.
It's brilliant. Because by saying it's up to Ridge, she sounds all righteous, right? She doesn't actually lie.
But she completely hides the biggest piece of information.
Exactly. The promise Ridge made her in Italy to make things right. She keeps her best card hidden.
Wow.
So the analysts are saying, Thomas leaves that confrontation knowing Brooke is a threat, absolutely, but he doesn't know just how close she is to actually winning this round.
And it's that concealment, that choice not to drop the truth bomb on Thomas right then, that leads straight into her desperate chat with Katie.
She's got the ammo, but she's holding it, waiting for Ridge. So right after Thomas leaves, Brooke is just pure stress. You can picture it.
Yeah.
She's rehashing the whole thing with Katie, and she's reinforcing her core belief right now, which is that Ridge will break it off with Taylor. He will come back to her.
She's clinging to that promise from Italy.
Totally. But you can tell her faith is shaky because she's also got this massive anxiety about Thomas's influence.
She thinks Thomas being back will mess things up.
Specifically, she's worried Thomas's return gives Ridge the perfect excuse to stall. She literally fears he'll delay, delay, delay. That's the phrase the sources keep using.
Which, let's be honest, is Ridge's default setting.
Yeah.
Indecisiveness.
He's the king of it. And Thomas, showing up, gives him this convenient emotional out, a reason to put off telling Taylor the really hard truth.
Okay, so this is where Katie steps in.
This is where Katie brings the pragmatic push. She sees it clearly. Ridge has chickened out. That's the analysis.
Yes, he had his chance. Made the promise, couldn't follow through.
Exactly. So Katie urges Brooke, basically, stop waiting. Take action yourself.
But hang on, isn't Katie kind of pushing Brooke into a trap there?
How so?
Well, if Brooke goes and tells Taylor herself, doesn't she instantly become the villain, the homewrecker? And Ridge gets to just, like, wash his hands of it all. Did the sources look at that risk?
Oh, they absolutely did. And the consensus is, yeah, Ridge, by not acting, has basically set Brooke up. Katie knows this. But she figures the risk of waiting is even higher. If Brooke waits, Ridge might just stumble into marrying Taylor out of guilt or pressure, whatever.
Right.
If Brooke acts now, yeah, she takes the heat. She's the bad guy in the moment. But she gets the clarity she desperately needs. So Katie's advice is blunt. Go around Ridge.
Tell Taylor the truth yourself.
Tell her specifically about the promise from Italy. That Ridge promised to make things right with Brooke and be together. Ridge's cowardice basically forces Brooke to do the dirty work.
And take the hit to her reputation.
Exactly. She bears the immediate cost.
It's a terrible spot to be in. I read one analysis piece that suggested this is just Brooke's reality with Ridge, isn't it? He makes the big emotional promise.
And she's always the one left cleaning up the mess and facing the Forrester Judgment Squad.
Yeah.
Hashtag #taxacy. Influencers and ultimatum. Thursday and Friday, Sep 4th, 5th. And the family pressure just keeps coming this week. It's relentless. And it's not just Thomas and Steffi.
Oh, who else gets involved?
On Thursday, Eric Forrester steps in. And this is where the analysis of how this family manipulates each other gets really interesting.
Ah, yes. This is the delicious irony you mentioned earlier. Eric confronts Ridge.
Right. And he tells him, warns him, don't let Thomas or Steffi influence your decision. He's telling Ridge to think for himself.
Okay. Sounds reasonable so far.
But in the very next breath, Eric is, and I quote, harping on Ridge again about Brooke being the one.
No, seriously.
Seriously, he tells Ridge to ignore his kid's influence while demanding Ridge listen to his influence.
Wow. That is blatant.
It's textbook manipulation disguised as fatherly concern.
Yeah.
Eric is using his patriarchal clout not to guide Ridge, but to push him in the exact same way he's telling Ridge to resist from others.
Yeah.
It really highlights this toxic theme running through the whole week.
Meanwhile, Taylor's not just sitting back knitting, I assume.
Not a chance. She knows, probably better than anyone, that an engagement ring is basically meaningless when Brooke Logan is in the picture.
She sees Brooke as a real threat.
An acute threat, the analysts say. So she is playing some serious defense. She's pressuring Ridge hard to set an ASAP wedding date.
Right now. Lock it in.
This isn't about romance. It's pure strategy, finality. She needs that wedding band on her finger. That's the signal that Ridge is officially off the market.
The engagement is just potential. The marriage is the padlock.
Exactly. She's trying to corner him before Brooke gets her chance to drop that Italy truth bomb.
Which brings us to Friday. And with all this pressure from Eric, from Taylor, from Thomas, what happens to Ridge?
The inevitable happens. Ridge Forrester is described as torn, perpetually waffling, family pulling at him all over. It's peak Ridge.
But the sources aren't just calling him indecisive and leaving it there, are they?
No, they're digging deeper. They're asking what is Ridge's core flaw here?
And the answer.
The assessment is pretty brutal, actually. It's not just simple indecision. It's described as this pathological inability to stick with one woman, to honor his commitments, to keep his promises, to just be loyal. It's called a chronic behavior, something that's been years in the making. And it's identified as the true engine driving all these showdowns. The analysis basically says Ridge's constant lack of loyalty. That's the root cause of this entire mess.
And because Ridge is, well, Ridge, genetically incapable of making a clean break.
Brooke is forced into her final position. We know the week ends with her prepping an ultimatum.
She's given him a deadline if he doesn't tell Taylor.
Brooke is ready to spill the beans herself.
Okay, but the tactical question is, does she tell Ridge? Does she give him a heads up, like, you've got till Friday, buddy, or I'm telling her?
That's what the sources are speculating about. Will she explicitly state the ultimatum to him, or will she just wait for him to inevitably fail, like Katie advised, and then just act?
Given how righteous she's trying to be lately.
She might feel she has to warn him, but Katie's practical advice might win out. She might just see her opening and take it. Either way, that fuse is lit and it's burning fast.
Right, so while the Forresters are tangled in their usual marital high-wire act, and Ridge is wrestling with his consistent moral failings,
That's one way to put it.
the sources pivot us completely to the younger generation, where a whole secret life involving Luna Nozawa is about to just explode.
Okay, let's switch gears to Luna Nozawa, because her story has this really traumatic backstory that kind of puts her current reckless plotting into context.
Right, and her grandmother, Lee Finnegan, is involved.
Deeply. Lee is now described as hyper-vigilant about Luna's mysterious absences. The source says Leo does not take Luna at her word.
That sounds significant for Lee.
It is. It signals that Lee's professional instincts, her doctor instincts, her ability to spot lies, they're fully switched on. She senses something is wrong.
And analysts think Lee's going to figure it out.
Yeah, the prediction is before too long. They even suggest she might resort to actually tailing Luna.
Wow.
Lee is fiercely protective, but her suspicion here is rooted in some really deep personal history. We have to remember the core conflict driving this part of the story. Luna is determined to have a relationship with her father, Finn. But Lee is dead set against it, fiercely against it.
And the reason why is pretty dark, isn't it?
It's very dark.
Right.
Like, actually has to remind Luna, you can't do this, you're supposed to be dead.
Right. For anyone who missed that whole saga, Luna was presumed dead, probably tied up in some past crisis, maybe involving Sheila Carter.
Likely. And Lee seems to have orchestrated some kind of cover-up, maybe faked her death or arranged a separation to protect Luna, believing, she was doing the right thing.
That is incredibly heavy. The sources mention, almost as a side note, that Taylor actually encourages Lee to get grief counseling over Luna's supposed death.
Yeah, but Lee just shuts it down. She apparently says her only regret right now might be saving her own life.
Whoa. That's a massive statement. What does it tell us about Lee's state of mind?
It speaks volumes about her isolation, her trauma, the guilt she's carrying. She seems to see her own survival as a burden because maybe the cost of it was this complicated separation from Luna.
So she's carrying all this guilt.
A tremendous amount. And that feeds into her almost obsessive need to control Luna. Now keep her hidden, keep her dead to the outside world, and definitely keep her away from Finn, who represents that whole Forrester Spencer drama she tried to shield Luna from.
Luna refusing help, holding on to that regret. It just underlines that she's operating from this place of deep emotional injury.
Which makes her both, a dangerous opponent if you cross her, but also maybe not the most reliable protector for Luna right now.
This isn't just typical grandmotherly worry.
No, this is trauma driving suspicion. Big time. Hashtag be Bill. The baby trap and Will's exposure. Week of September 12. And that whole trauma context makes Luna's next move seem even more calculated, maybe even colder.
It is.
She is moving full steam ahead with her plan to, quote, baby trap Will Spencer.
Wow, they're calling it that directly, a baby trap.
Directly. And the sources emphasize whether or not she's actually pregnant yet, the plan itself is fully in motion.
Okay.
We know she took a pregnancy test this week.
Okay, and the result?
Well, this is where it gets chilling for Will. The analysts really zeroed in on the description of Luna having a smirky little smile on her face.
Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good.
No. It strongly suggests she got the results she wanted, that she might actually be pregnant with Will's child.
And the immediate assumption would be it's Will's, right? Given the timing, Luna recovering from being shot.
That's the first most obvious conclusion, and likely the conclusion Luna wants everyone to jump to.
But, I sense a but coming.
But the deep dive material adds this really crucial layer of speculation, something that elevates the manipulation level significantly.
Okay.
Luna apparently has a known friendship with another character, Remy Price.
Remy, okay. And
This raises the speculative possibility, it's just speculation at this point, but the possibility that Remy could actually be the father.
whoa, so Luna might be trying to pass off Remy's baby as Will's.
If she's strategically trying to execute this trap, gain entry into that powerful Spencer Forrester world.
Yeah.
That moves it from just, cheating and accidental pregnancy.
Into straight up high-level emotional fraud. That's huge.
Huge. But regardless of who the father actually is, The trap is sprung for Will. He's already described as getting more worried about the mystery woman he slept with.
The one he knows he didn't use protection with.
Exactly. And the sources predict Luna is going to start messing with his head, sending texts, baiting him.
Oh, no.
There's a strong expectation she'll send him a photo of the positive pregnancy test.
Oh, that's brutal. Like psychological warfare, you said earlier.
Totally. That photo would, as one analyst vividly put it, scare the pee out of him.
Yeah, I bet. It makes the consequences immediate and terrifyingly real.
Suddenly, it's not just relationship drama. It's potential fatherhood. It's the explosive truth that he risked his partner's health, her trust, all for a secret hookup.
Will's panic sounds completely justified, but his most immediate problem isn't even the baby itself, is it?
No. It's the confrontation that's inevitably coming with Electra Forrester.
Yeah.
Hashtag DC, Electra's impending outrage.
And yeah, this is where it gets really devastating emotionally. Electra Forrester is going to be, what's the word the sources use?
Absolutely horrified. And they make it clear why her reaction is going to be so extreme.
Go on.
Will slept with her, took her virginity, which is obviously a huge emotional milestone for anyone.
Right. A big deal.
All while he was sitting on this massive, frankly, disgusting secret.
That he just had unprotected sex with some rando, as Electra probably thinks of her.
A rando who turns out to be Luna. Yeah, the deception isn't just, oh, I cheated. It's a profound betrayal on multiple levels.
Trust, honesty, her physical safety.
Exactly, and the emotional significance of that moment for her. You can see why she'd be enraged that he prioritized keeping his secret, even a secret his family told him to keep.
Over being honest about a situation that put her at risk, both physically and emotionally.
Absolutely. The deep dive material suggests this could be it for them. Electra could potentially dump Will on the spot.
It feels like it crosses a line, doesn't it? Beyond typical soap opera infidelity into something much worse. A real moral failure.
It really does. Will's secrecy, which seems driven by that whole Spencer family, cover things up at all costs mentality.
Like father, like son maybe, or mother in this case.
It leads directly to this colossal breach of trust. And his only possible defense, what's he going to say?
He might try the, but my mom told me to keep this secret excuse.
Which the analysis just shoots down immediately, calls it not a good excuse.
And it really isn't, is it?
No, because the point isn't just blaming his mother, Quinn. It's about Will himself choosing secrecy, choosing the family's messed up code.
Over personal accountability, over honesty with the woman he supposedly loved, right when honesty mattered most.
Exactly. It shows that same pattern of secrecy and manipulation we see in the older generation with Ridge. It's already poisoning the well for the younger generation through Will.
And Electra is about to become the collateral damage of that whole generational dysfunction.
Devastating collateral damage.
Okay, so as if the Luna Will chaos wasn't enough, the battle for Ridge's soul, or at least his wedding ring, is also heating up again during that week of September 8th.
Oh, yeah. Thomas is definitely not backing down.
He's still determined to get his mom, Taylor, her happily ever after with Ridge.
More than ever. If anything, he's doubling down. Hashtag A, Thomas's continued plotting and strategic alliances. And his strategy is evolving a bit. He knows Brooke is the immediate threat, but he also seems to realize he can't strong-arm Ridge all by himself.
So what's the plan?
The analysts predict he's going to actively loop Steffi in, give her the full download.
Everything. Brooke's moves, Ridge's hesitation.
Exactly. Brooke's subtle plays, and especially the worrisome things Ridge has apparently been saying that make Thomas nervous. Things that suggest Ridge is still being pulled back towards Brooke.
So he's building Team Taylor, forming a united front.
That's the goal. Their collective mission is to influence Ridge hard, push him to set that wedding date now, hold him accountable to the promises he made to them.
The promise not to break Taylor's heart again.
Precisely. This coordinated family pressure, it's constant, and it's incredibly effective at keeping Ridge exactly where they want him, paralyzed.
It really reinforces that idea you mentioned earlier. Ridge can't seem to make a decision unless one side is just overwhelmingly pulling him.
Yeah, Thomas and Steffi are basically trying to create this gravitational field around Taylor so strong that he just can't drift back towards Drooke's orbit. Hashtag GNBE. The Hope-Liam-Carter triangle resurfaces.
Okay, and while that tug-of-war is happening, we've also got another classic soap opera triangle popping back up.
Because of course we do.
The Hope, Liam, and Carter situation. It seems Liam Spencer is back on the offensive.
Actively. The sources say he's continuing to woo Hope Logan, and he's making his case pretty aggressively, it sounds like.
How so? What's his angle?
His approach seems really pointed. It's focused entirely on tearing down the competition. He's arguing to Hope that Carter Walton is basically a waste of her time
Ouch.
and not her destiny. So the analysis suggests Liam is using this mix of logic, or his version of logic, laced with emotional manipulation.
It's not just I love you, it's he's wrong for you, I'm right for you.
Exactly. He's trying to rationalize why Carter isn't stable enough or connected enough to fit into the grand destiny narrative Liam still believes he and Hope share.
Even though she just got engaged to Carter. That's
And
classic Liam arrogance, isn't it? Believing he knows best.
the deep dive material definitely points that out as a recurring flaw.
This whole situation is heading straight for another collision, right? Between Thomas and Hope.
Oh, absolutely. That interaction is flagged as something to watch next week. It's potentially highly charged.
Because Thomas is busy trying to torpedo Hope's mom.
Right. And Hope is obviously not going to be okay with Thomas targeting Brooke like that.
But there's history there too, isn't there? Between Thomas and Hope, personally.
Massive history. He proposed to her, remember? She turned him down flat. And then, relatively quickly, she accepts Carter's proposal.
Thomas might not take that well.
No. The sources suggest he might react negatively, maybe even resentfully, seeing Hope seemingly happy and engaged to someone else while his own family situation is such a mess.
So it's not just Forrester versus Logan anymore.
No, this layer of personal spite, personal history, it's going to fuel whatever interaction they have. It gets complicated. Hashtag C, countdown to collision. But even with all these other dramas swirling around Liam, Hope, Carter, Thomas, Steffi.
The main event is still Ridge, Taylor, and Brooke.
Absolutely. The ultimate tension for this whole period remains fixed on that wedding timeline and Ridge's complete failure to act decisively.
Taylor's pushing, Thomas and Steffi are pushing, Eric's pushing.
But that truth bomb is still ticking away. Brooke holds the detonator.
So the big question hanging over everything is just how long? How long until Brooke, pushed by Katie's advice, fed up with Ridge's stalling?
Is finally knocking at Taylor's door to drop that truth bomb.
Because Ridge failed. He delayed, just like Brooke feared.
He didn't keep his promise. So now, if Brooke wants to win, she almost has to take control of the narrative herself.
And that confrontation, when it happens, the stakes are huge.
Monumental. If Brooke goes to Taylor with the Italy secret, it validates every fear Thomas and Steffi have. It completely exposes Ridge as a liar, a fraud.
So the source analysis thinks the showdown is basically unavoidable.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
The feeling is that this collision is inevitable, and it's likely going to be the big cliffhanger leading into the following week.
Okay, one more potential complication. A wild card entering the mix.
Right. Bridget Forrester. She's confirmed to be back on Wednesday, September 10th.
Bridget, another layer of that complex Forrester-Logan family tree. What's the speculation there? Why is she back?
Well, the material just confirms her return. It leaves us hanging, really. Is she back for personal reasons? Maybe to intervene in the Ridgebrook disaster, since she's related to both sides?
That seems plausible, given the state of things.
Or, and this is the other possibility, she's a doctor, remember?
Oh.
So could it be a professional matter? Something related to Luna's situation, perhaps? Or Lee's isolation? Or maybe even one of the main players having some stress-related health scare?
Given the sheer amount of dysfunction flying around, a personal intervention feels pretty likely, doesn't it?
Highly likely. But her presence matters either way. She's another voice, often a more neutral, respected voice.
Someone Ridge might actually listen to.
Maybe. Which could just further complicate his waffling, couldn't it?
Her return definitely feels like it's going to be a catalyst for something, pushing Ridge one way or the other.
Or maybe pulling focus onto the whole Luna Will mess just as it explodes. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah.
Hashtag outro. Okay, wow. Let's try and synthesize some of this monumental chaos we've just unpacked for you.
Yeah, let's try and pull the main threads together.
So looking at the immediate future for these families, it's just defined by this extreme level of constant family influence, isn't it?
Absolutely. Everyone from Eric down to Thomas and Steffi, they're all actively trying to steer Ridge's romantic life.
And it's that suffocating pressure, that constant pulling, that really sustains Ridge's profound indecision.
Yeah.
He's trapped by it.
And that indecision, his inability to just make a choice and stick to it, is the direct trigger for the explosive situation with Brooke's ultimatum.
Right. She's being forced to act, maybe against her better judgment, simply because Ridge refuses to own up to his promises. He creates the crisis by doing nothing.
Meanwhile, totally separate but just as intense, the younger generation is facing this incredibly chaotic, life-altering fallout from Luna's, well, malicious baby trap plot.
Yeah, driven by manipulation, secrets, and that reckless unprotected sex. It's a mess.
So you've got these two massive secrets, a huge marital betrayal simmering with Ridge and Brooke, and this potential paternity fraud with Luna and Will, and they both seem set to blow up right around the same time.
Timing is just intense. Maximum drama potential.
Okay, so we have to end with that final provocative thought, circling back to the core analysis in the source material about Ridge himself.
Right. His consistent pattern. Failure. Lack of commitment.
So, given all those details about Ridge's endless waffling, the trail of broken promises, this almost pathological inability he has to commit cleanly to Taylor or Brooke,
You have to ask the question, don't you?
is the biggest danger here? The thing that really threatens this entire family structure year after year, generating all this drama, is it the external threats like Brooke trying to win him back or Thomas trying to protect his mom or...
Is it Ridge himself? Is his own consistent, maybe even pathological, chronic lack of loyalty and commitment the actual core problem, the engine driving the whole destructive cycle?
He's like the ground zero of the chaos, isn't he? The immovable object causing all the unstoppable forces to crash around him.
That's a good way to put it. Definitely something for you, the listener, to mull over as you brace yourself for those truth bombs that are just inevitably going to start dropping very, very soon.
Thank you for diving deep with us today into all this.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for this analysis. We will definitely catch you on the next deep dive.